I want to say something to our women. We are all built by women. Every single system you see happening in this world is produced by women. Whatever a man has, it can only be processed into the finest finished product by women. Women are the greatest backbone any society can have. Women are the greatest backbone any society needs to respect to get to wherever it needs to go to. Women are the makers. Women are actually what makes all vision of men to reality. So I want to say things to our women that in Africa, we have traditionally been respecting our women. If you go back to the history of Nigeria, very long time ago, we had a queen in the northern part of Nigeria that is today Zaria, Queen Amina, as a woman. She was respected, she was regarded, she was given a traditional titleship. Even within the strong Muslim community, the Damfodio family, we have his daughter, Asma'u, who was a principal advocate for women's rights and was even an author of different books about women activities in the making of the nation. If you come back to the western and the southern part of the country, we have Olufimulayo Kuti. Everybody knows what she has done greatly to the advancement of women participation in Nigerian governance and to the liberation of this country and to its own independence eventually from British. This is a work of a woman. And if you go back to the south, what even moved this country to the independence, if you check between 1920s and 1930s, are actually what the British call the women wars. You can Google that. The women wars. These women rose up against some of the imperialist enforcement on some tax rules, and they were able to bring down the entire colonial masters government. We lost 50 of them. The war started, I guess, in Imo State, and then we lost 50 of our women, but they succeeded in even pushing the country much more closer to its independence. So in our traditional societies, there is hardly a home that you can see today that a woman is actually redundant. All our women are businessmen, traditionally in Africa. All of them are business people. They move out, they do some work. If you go to almost all the houses, especially in the north where I came from, our women have made us. My mother personally made me. She took me to primary school when my father wanted me to go to Almajiri school. You understand? And eventually she was able to bring my father into sending all his children to conventional school. My mother was a petty businesswoman. Through that her petty business, she was able to make us. She was able to make the home. Yet she remained a mother. She remained a wife. She remained respectful to her husband. She remained faithful in every other way. She did not rise up and antagonize him. She did not confront him. Yet, she was still able to stay as a woman, and she was able to do a lot of things. So in Africa, traditionally, from the root, we have respect for women. Today, if you check in the world, it's only in Africa that we have a country that have more women represented in its government than men. That is Rwanda. And if you go back again to history in the 1980s, the first person that bring women to the role of cabinet position is actually Thomas Sankara. You can check this. So that means we have been traditionally respecting women. We should not be taking gender equality as a movement to go against men, but a movement to make men, because all men you see out there are empty without women. They cannot do something if women did not make them. It is actually, we are actually fake. What we do is we produce whatever, but women actually process it and make it what we want it to be. So our women need to be respected, and therefore we don't believe that we should try to be pushing something called gender equality in our nation. We know that the West have a lot of scores to do with women. If you check history, they trade women as commodity in exchange for power and prestige and money. That's their story. That's their history. Traditionally, they have been dehumanizing women in their system, in the Western societies. But in Africa, we know women, we recognize them. We should remain mothers. We should remain wives. We should please go and marry men. We shouldn't marry women. Let's go and marry men. Let's have children. Let's stay in our husbands' houses. Let's try to make this man that is giving you a headache. Be patient. Build that home and then build this country. Build this community. Therefore, we in our own system will try as much as possible to encourage gender balance, not gender equality. Because we believe women and men cannot be the same. Women are women, and that is why they are who they are. men are men, and that is why we are who we are, and we respect the law of nature. But there must be gender balance. Wherever you see a man is doing something, a woman should be able to do something. We believe if we keep propagating gender equality, people think of women from their skirt rather than their head. But with gender balance, people will think from the head, what woman has in her head, than what she has that makes her a woman. Therefore, we respect women. We want them to advance the cause of gender balance. And if we succeed in our movement, we are going to make 47% of representation in this government to be women, because we believe in gender balance and we believe they have a lot of things in their head. That is what we will see. So what we are saying is that our women should not be carried away by so much propaganda that makes them to start seeing that they will be like a man. I want to give you an example. I am sure almost most of you women, though it will be entertaining, but you're not happy with what Bobrisky is actually doing. It's entertaining, but you do not wish that you should be like that. And similarly, when Bruce Jenner changed to Kathleen Jenner, most of you are not happy because he's trying to be like you, and you don't really like a man when he tries to be like you. But you, maybe you may find it entertaining, but you like to see a man representing, moving, driving, making things, and taking care of you. But I am trying to tell you the truth. I am a man. Without a woman, I cannot do anything. I cannot even be able to stand up here and be talking to you. If my woman give me a headache today, I may have been sleeping. Because she makes me. Therefore, you make us. Don't run away from us. Go and marry men and stay in their houses and make them, but don't fight them. You men, you know, I have already spoken a lot about this. You cannot do anything. You cannot make anything. You cannot connect anything. You cannot revive anything. You cannot produce anything without a woman. So if you don't respect her, you destroy yourself.